Hello, my name is François Gemenne. I'm a researcher with the University of Liège in Belgium. I'm also a professor at HEC in Paris, and I work on the interactions between climate change and migration. So, what is a climate migrant? We talk more and more about people displaced as a result of climate change, but the fact of the matter is there is no real category of climate migrant. And when we speak of climate migrant, most of the time we speak of people who have been forced to flee their home as a result of climate impacts. And those impacts can include brutal events, floods, or droughts. They can also include incremental creeping events such as land degradation or sea level rise. And as a matter of fact, the type of movement that is induced by those environmental disruption can be extremely diverse, from people who have to flee for their lives. Others will be able to plan their migration, and migration can even serve as a form of adaptation to climate impacts. So we should be aware that behind the label of climate migrant, we find a wide variety of impacts of climate change and also a wide variety of migration patterns. There is no legal protection as such for climate migrants. This is a category that does not exist in international law, and for that reason, most of the people displaced as a result of climate change are considered either as internally displaced people, IDPs, when they don't cross a border, and if they cross a border, typically they will be labeled as economic migrants. And the truth of the matter is that for most people, their economic income depends a lot on environmental conditions, which means that the economic and environmental drivers of migration actually intermingle with each other and are deeply intertwined. Um, that doesn't mean, however, that there is no legal protection at all for people displaced by climate change. National legislation sometimes provide some protection provisions, and I should also mention the Nansen Initiative Protection Agenda, an intergovernmental initiative that was driven by the governments of Norway and Switzerland between 2012 and 2015, and concluded with the adoption of the Nansen Initiative Protection Agenda, which is a kind of catalog of good practice and recommendations to foster the protection of the rights of those displaced as a result of climate change and environmental disasters. And that agenda even gave birth to a new organization, the Platform on Disaster Displacement, which was created in 2016 as a way to assist governments in the implementation of the Nansen Initiative Protection Agenda. But obviously, the recent withdrawal of the US from many instruments of international cooperation put really a huge toll on the Secretariat of the Platform on Disaster Displacement, and the future of the organization itself is unclear and uncertain at the moment we speak.